Chef Tatung Sarthou is known for many things, putting more Pinoy dishes on the map, setting up restaurants with unique concepts, and teaching the everyday home cook how to whip up scrumptious dishes. We get his recipe for success right here on The Final Word. Chef Tatung, great to have you with us. Congratulations on the new restaurant that you just opened, Lore.
Thank you very much, Rico. Such a pleasure to be here with you tonight, virtually.
Virtually. You have a few restaurants now under ownership. How do you conceptualize
Yeah.
your restaurants?
Actually, it really starts from, stories I want to tell and try to weave a restaurant concept around it. So right now it's lore from folklore, and we try to tell stories of Filipino cuisine through the dishes we serve. And yeah, that's it. And we try to look at different facets of Filipino cuisine, not just telling like traditional things, but also something with a bit of trivia and all that. And on the screen right now is a private dining I have in Antipolo,
Uh-huh.
which is you serve more traditional dishes out there, and it's you can book it by for private functions
Yeah.
and small groups.
And
Yeah.
Chef, currently you have about 3 restaurants, and in 2023 you will be
Yes.
expanding by another 4 restaurants. But all of these
Another
restaurants that you will have will be all unique, having different menus and
Yeah.
different stories. Isn't that mind-breaking coming up with unique menus for all of your restaurants?
Yeah, it's kind of a struggle really coming up with all these recipes and how not to duplicate yourself. But it's also sort of a challenge, and it's an output because especially that I also write books.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of material to dig into. So it's kind of fun. It's also like working with different teams, having different working with younger chefs who have like fresh ideas and incorporate them into the whole story. So it's fun. It's like more like playing rather than working for me.
And you are, of course, well known as a persona behind the simple cookbooks.
Yeah.
We have them over here in the studio. And your
Yeah.
YouTube videos, Chef Tatung, no? How do
Yeah.
you manage your time between cooking, writing these books, and vlogging?
Yeah, it's quite a struggle, but I have a quite a team behind me, both for the editorial side and the production side, and also the culinary group. So I work constantly with different people, and we managed to be able to set up a creative company. It's called Vertical Creatives that does a lot of work, content and production, but more focused on food content. So that's where we do our a lot of our R&D, and we also do a lot of like academic research on Philippine cuisine, and that's what we try
Yeah.
to weave into books and videos and short documentaries.
Eh,
So it's a lot of things going on at the same time, but it's all from the same breath and the same parang spirit of trying to promote Filipino cuisine
That's
globally.
right. It's personal, it's cultural, it's historical. And
Yeah,
look at this book, Philippine Cookery from Heart to Platter. Who are your
yeah.
inspirations, Chef Tatung, when it comes to cooking and preparation?
For for me, I really started cooking at home, no, with my grandmothers and my mom,
Oo.
and eventually I really started my career as a journalist. No, I used to write for the paper in Cebu, Sunstar, and we were always taught to do our research and all that. So when it came to cooking, I became more keen on learning the stories and being very accurate about the stories I share also in the dishes I prepare.
Yeah.
So like who inspires me, both chefs and authors and historians, both local and international, that really like drive the narrative of not only Filipino cuisine but
Yeah.
global cuisine as well.
But if you take a look at all these books, I'm just reading them through right now. No, there are hundreds of recipes. A chef, can you give us your top
Yeah.
3 recipes? What is your favorite?
Oh my.
Top 3,
Oh,
out of all the hundreds.
Probably like oh my, that's such a difficult thing. The humba definitely is such a great recipe
Uh-huh.
because I am from Cebu. The adobong pula,
Yes.
and what else? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I know.
Morcon, the
Ayan.
Morcon. Yeah. And that book, the black book you're holding, was my first book. And that was a bestseller, and that won World Gourmand Awards, won #1. And that's already out of print. So what you have right now is
Oh.
like a collector's item.
Collector's
Rico, and
item.
that's
I can
for
put
you.
this in an auction,
But
I
we
can.
are working on a second edition, which will be released next year.
All right.
So I only have 5 copies of that left, and now you have one of them.
Okay. I'm gonna have this auctioned off, the book auction very soon. All right, Chef. I mean, we were saying you're a cook, no? You are an author, a vlogger, but of course, you're also an entrepreneur. Managing all of these restaurants, and you're also a businessman. How are you dealing with the rising prices of goods and ingredients? And are you transferring this added cost to your customers?
Of course, you really have to, be very sensible when you're running a business, but you also have to add a certain premium, especially to your client. So you have to manage in a way that you operate your business with so much efficiency, so that the value is added in terms of quality to your clients. Like for example, one of the things that we were able to grow through the years is our publishing arm. So right now I publish my own books under Vertical Books, and if you would notice, all the books that you have right now are all in full color, all with quality printing, quality photography, but we're selling it at a very affordable price.
Yes.
They're less than 400 pesos, the books.
Oh,
And
wow. Yes.
we're able to
So
do that because we're able to sell in volume.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't want to brag, but I think I am the um, biggest selling Filipino cookbook author of
Well,
this
congratulations.
generation.
So-
Modesty aside, and my books are sold not only in the Philippines,
But also on
abroad.
international platforms.
We have a very strong following
Chef.
in North America.
Chef.
And I think that we're the only cookbook publishers in the Philippines, right? If you go to our cookbook,
Chef,
you would
Chef.
notice there are like QR codes, and
Yeah.
it's future ready. So if you don't understand the recipe, you can
yes.
scan on the
Interesting.
QR code, and it will lead you to the recipe video.
Chef, before we end this interview, when we travel around the world, we see Japanese cuisine, Korean cuisine, Thai cuisine, Indian cuisine. In every corner of the world, what will it take for Filipino cuisine to make it globally? And we can be eaten in major cities around the world.
I think what is very important right now, and which we are trying to, which is part of my advocacy, is really supporting Filipino companies, condiment manufacturers, food manufacturers, to be able to promote their products internationally. Why is that very important? Because I don't want to be going around the world promoting Filipino cuisine, whereby just talking about it like a glamour, just like a medal, a feather on my cap, and say, oh, I'm cooking Filipino food for you. I really want, and it's very essential, just like Thai food, Indian food, you're able to cook and replicate the authentic flavors of a country's cuisine because the ingredients are available to you. And
Right.
for me, it's
Okay.
very important that we're able to promote Filipino products, Filipino manufactured products, so
Chef.
that it will benefit also the Filipinos. So it isn't like a token cooking Filipino
Yes.
food, but using like imported vinegars or imported soy sauce, and is call it like a Filipino adobo.
All right.
But to use locally produced ingredients, suka, toyo, make it available in Asian stores and hopefully eventually in the mainstream groceries abroad for non-Filipinos to be able to cook authentic Filipino food. So I think
Wow.
it's very economic. No, we really need the help of the government. We really need the private
Yes.
sector to really be involved in promoting Filipino food, not just in the aspect of the cultural, but really in terms of economics, driving business for Filipino food products internationally.
Thank you so much and congratulations on your success, Chef Tatung Sarthou.